Hallo, schön, dass ihr schon alle da seid. Es haben sich schon viele eingeloggt. Wir freuen uns, dass ihr heute Nachmittag dabei seid. Wir warten gerade noch 1, 2 Minuten, bis alle, die sich angemeldet haben, sich auch erfolgreich eingeloggt haben. Und genau, dann starten wir gleich. Es wäre super, wenn 1, 2 Personen kurz in den Chat schreiben könnten, ob ihr uns gut hören könnt. Und dann geht es auch in wenigen Minuten schon los. Wir freuen uns, dass ihr da seid. Super. Da haben direkt schon 2 geschrieben. Nico, Dagmar, danke für euer Feedback. Dann scheint das schon mal auf der Seite zu laufen. Jetzt warten wir gerade noch 1, 2 Minuten, bis sich alle erfolgreich eingeloggt haben. Und dann starten wir auch schon. Super, da sehen wir, dass sich immer mehr Leute einloggen. Das scheint alles zu funktionieren. Ich würde gerade noch ein Minütchen warten und dann fangen wir pünktlich an. Grüße aus Thüringen, Grüße aus Frankfurt. Wir freuen uns, dass ihr alle da seid. Hamburg, sehr schön. Grüße in den Norden. So, perfekt. Wir warten einfach nicht länger und fangen direkt mal an. Es gibt bestimmt noch 1, 2 Personen, die sich noch nachträglich einloggen, aber das ist auch kein Problem. Ich würde dann offiziell anfangen. Wir freuen uns sehr, dass ihr heute alle dabei seid zum nächsten St. Lucia-Webinar, heute zum Thema Abenteuer und Natur. Ich bin Laura von der Tourism Authority hier in Deutschland und meine Kollegin, die Karin, ist auch dabei und wir freuen uns, euch heute ein bisschen hier durchs Programm zu führen. Und wir freuen uns natürlich auch, dass wir ganz viele Partner heute dabei haben. Kurz für euch zum Ablauf. Unsere Partner sprechen natürlich alle Englisch, deswegen werden wir zwischendurch immer so ein bisschen zwischen den Sprachen switchen. Eine Einführung gibt es gleich von uns kurz auf Deutsch. Unsere Partner präsentieren auf Englisch. Und genau, die werde ich jetzt auch gleich euch alle einmal auf Englisch kurz vorstellen. Wenn ihr Fragen habt, könnt ihr gerne den Chat rechts, den ihr alle schon gefunden habt, verwenden, gerne auf Englisch. Wenn nicht auf Deutsch, dann übersetzen wir das für die Rednerinnen und Redner. Wenn ihr Fragen habt, gerne während der Präsentation einfach direkt in den Chat schreiben und sobald die Speaker fertig gesprochen haben, würden wir dann einmal die Fragen direkt weiterreichen und genau, werden aber auch im Nachgang noch mal ein kleines Q&A haben. Genau, so viel vorweg. Wir freuen uns, dass ihr alle da seid. Wir haben auf jeden Fall die Hitze aus St. Lucia diese Woche mit nach Deutschland gebracht. Schön, dass sich so viele trotz des super Wetters hier noch am Nachmittag eingeloggt haben. Wir freuen uns, dass ihr alle da seid und wir freuen uns auch heute viele Partner dabei zu haben. So I'm going to switch in English real quick because I'm very happy and honored to introduce our partners and speakers for this webinar. We have Sanju from Cox Company. We have Annika from Sea Spray Cruises. Then there's Adam from Rabo Hotel from Hotel Chocolat. And we have Brittany. She's speaking for the Community Tourism Agency. Unfortunately, she got sick. She just texted us. So we will be taking over for her and share her presentations and videos as good as we can. So back into German. Vielleicht noch kurz vorab, das ist jetzt unsere 3. Webinarsitzung schon für dieses Jahr. Wir haben im Januar angefangen, das letzte Webinar war zum Thema Luxus und jetzt sind wir bei Abenteuer und Natur. Das sieht man hier schon ganz schön auf dem Foto. Die Pitons hier im Hintergrund zu sehen, UNESCO-Weltkulturerbe. Das ist so das Foto, was man auf jeden Fall von St. Lucia kennt, mit eines der Sachen, die die Insel so besonders macht. Die üppigen Regenwälder, die tollen Berge, Wasserfälle, Vulkanerlebnisse, Da fokussieren wir uns heute drauf, aber es gibt natürlich auch noch ganz viel anderes auf der Insel zu sehen und zu erleben. Es ist eine ganz, ganz vielfältige Destination, vor allem auch eine sehr romantische Destination. Wir sind schon 17 Mal World's Leading Honeymoon Destination bei den World Travel Awards geworden. Es gibt eine ganz tolle eine tolle Auswahl an Unterkünften, Hotels, Ressorts, Villen, aber auch Airbnbs und ganz einfache Apartments. Da ist von bis wirklich alles dabei. Wir haben eine ganz lebendige Kultur, einen super bunten Eventkalender. Jetzt im Juli feiern wir zum Beispiel ganz groß den Karneval auf St. Lucia, natürlich auch die Schokoladen- und Rum-Tradition, eine super leckere kreolische Küche. Und auch das Thema Wellness und Naturspas ist groß auf St. Lucia. Da wird es im Oktober auch nochmal eine Session zu geben und allgemein einfach ganz viel Lebensfreude. Wir sind in der Karibik. Auf St. Lucia kommt man immer mit den Locals in Austausch und die Insel lebt wirklich von diesem Feeling. Genau, die Dame auf dem Foto kennt ihr wahrscheinlich auch. Das ist die schnellste Frau der Welt, aktuell über 100 und 200 Meter, Julian Alfred. Das ist auch unsere Tourism Ambassadorin. Viele von euch kennen sie bestimmt schon und generell gibt es auf dieser kleinen Insel ganz viele bekannte Persönlichkeiten, auch ein bisschen Nerdwissen am Rande, aber gemessen auf die Einwohnerzahl haben wir die höchste Dichte an Nobelpreisträgern, nämlich 2 Nobelpreisträger auf St. Lucia. Allgemein noch mal ein paar Informationen. St. Lucia ist unabhängig seit 1979, war vorher in britischer und französischer Hand und ist nach einer Frau benannt, auch eine große Besonderheit, nicht viele Destinationen der Welt. Und eine relativ kleine Insel, 44 mal 23 Kilometer und 180.000 Einwohner und es wird Englisch gesprochen, aber auch St. Lucian Creole, aber mit Englisch kommt ihr auf jeden Fall und eure Kunden sehr, sehr weit. Jeder spricht Englisch auf St. Lucia, das ist gar kein Problem. Genau, schauen wir uns nochmal die Lage an. Wo liegt St. Lucia genau? Wir befinden uns hier in der östlichen Karibik. Im Norden von St. Lucia liegt Martinique, im Süden haben wir St. Vincent und die Grenadinen und östlich haben wir Barbados. Genau, und so sieht die Insel, wenn man reinzoomt, aus. Ich habe das schon eben gesagt, ungefähr 45 Kilometer lang die Insel. Das klingt immer sehr klein, aber wie ihr hier schon an der Topografie seht und auch schon anhand der Pitons erahnen könnt, es ist relativ hügelig und bergig auf St. Lucia. Das heißt, wenn ihr zum Beispiel im Süden am internationalen Airport ankommt oder eure Kunden, braucht man schon so ungefähr 1,5 Stunden, bis man in den Norden gefahren ist. Das ist auch so ein bisschen die Besonderheit auf St. Lucia und das, was wir immer empfehlen, zum Beispiel einen Split-Stay für eure Kunden zu organisieren, dass sie die Hälfte ihres Aufenthalts auf der Insel im Süden eine Unterkunft eher haben und in der anderen Hälfte zum Beispiel im Norden, weil der Vibe und das Angebot eben auch im Norden und Süden so unterschiedlich ist. Im Süden haben wir vor allem die Natur und die Abenteuer, heute unser Thema. Im Norden ist es eher ein bisschen lebendiger, da haben wir auch die Hauptstadt, da haben wir die Streetpartys, die Bars, da ist einfach ein bisschen mehr los. Genau, das sind so die wichtigsten Orte auf der Insel, eben unten im Süden. Bei der 7 haben wir den internationalen Airport, bei der 3 haben wir den nationalen Airport. Das heißt, wenn eure Kunden beispielsweise Island-Hopping machen und mit innerkaribischen Flügen oder mit der Fähre fahren, dann kommen sie direkt in der Hauptstadt an, genauso wie eure Kreuzfahrtgäste. Genau, so sieht die Insel aus. Anreise habe ich eben schon mal ein bisschen angeschnitten. Gibt es vielfältige Möglichkeiten, wie man nach St. Lucia kommt. Die klassischste Route so ein bisschen ist, über London zu fliegen mit British Airways. Die fliegen 6 Mal in der Woche. Und die sind dann natürlich innereuropäisch gut angebunden. Dann gibt es noch die Möglichkeit, über die großen Hubs in den USA zu fliegen oder über Kanada mit Air Canada. Das ist auch möglich. Und was natürlich auch in der Karibik immer beliebt sind, sind die Inselhopping-Geschichten, dass man mit einer regionalen Fluggesellschaft dann nach St. Lucia weiterfährt oder auch eine Fähre nimmt, zum Beispiel von Martinique nach St. Lucia fährt die Expressfähre, das dauert nur ungefähr 90 Minuten, aber auch natürlich Kreuzfahrten, Yachting, Segeln auf Aruba, auf St. Lucia ein großes Thema. Da gibt es 2 Yachthäfen, einmal die Rodney Bay und die Marico Bay. Genau, das sind die USPs auf der Insel. Heute kümmern wir uns natürlich um das Thema Abenteuer und Natur. Da habe ich euch nochmal ein paar Infos zusammengestellt, aber unsere Speaker werden natürlich da gleich im Detail drauf angehen. Wir haben 150 Abenteuer auf der Insel für alle Altersgruppen, für alle Adrenalinstufen quasi. Natürlich die Pitons, die erwandert werden können, Regenwaldwanderungen, die Vulkanlandschaften, Schlammbäder. Wir können wirklich in den Vulkan auf St. Lucia reingehen. Kajaking in den Mangroven, Ziplining. Es gibt über 30 Strände, aber auch 22 Tauchplätze, also auch unter Wasser ist wirklich viel los. Vogelbeobachtung tatsächlich auch ein großes Thema auf St. Lucia. Wir haben über 300 Vogelarten und ein ganz neues Produkt ist die Small Stick Safari. Das ist ein schönes Produkt für eure Kunden, die wirklich tief in den Regenwald eintauchen möchten. Das ist so eine zweitägige Tour mit Naturguides. Und da ist man auf der Spur von 6 endemischen kleinen Arten, die es auf der Insel gibt. Das ist so ein bisschen unsere Antwort auf die Big Five. Wir haben die Small Six. Das ist zum Beispiel der St. Lucia Papagei, den ihr hier rechts seht. Das sind kleine Lizardarten, kleine Vögelchen, kleine Blindschleichen. Also wirklich ein schönes neues Produkt für eure Kunden, die da eintauchen möchten. Genau, hier noch so ein paar Eindrücke von der Insel, über Wasser, unter Wasser, hoch über den Bäumen, hoch über den Bergen, mittendrin ist wirklich viel los auf der Insel. Das erzählen euch jetzt gleich unsere Speaker natürlich. Noch von uns ein Update, was für euch natürlich auch sehr spannend sind. Viele fragen uns immer nach PEP-Raten. Wir haben jetzt gerade Anfang Juni die St. Lucia Agent Months gestartet. Die gehen noch bis November. Ihr könnt euch den QR-Code gerne abscannen. Wir schicken den euch aber auch nochmal im Nachgang zu. Da haben wir ja ganz viele tolle PEP-Raten und Angebote für euch zusammengestellt. Das läuft noch bis November. Da könnt ihr die Insel selbst erkunden, wenn ihr sie noch gar nicht kennt oder euer Wissen einfach vertiefen. Wenn ihr zuletzt schon sehr lang her ist, dass ihr mal auf St. Lucia wart, ist das natürlich eine super Möglichkeit, die Insel zu erkunden. Noch ein bisschen was von uns, was diese Woche bekannt gegeben wurde. Vielleicht haben es einige von euch schon im Newsletter gesehen. Wir sind jetzt offiziell Destinationspartner des Arsenal Football Clubs, unsere größte internationale Partnerschaft bislang. Das läuft für die nächsten 5 Jahre und da gibt es ganz viele Kampagnen und Initiativen, die wir zusammen mit Arsenal starten werden, unter anderem auch ein Academy Hub auf der Insel, um junge Talente zu fördern. Da werdet ihr auf jeden Fall in den nächsten Monaten und Jahren noch viel von hören, aber wir wollten es heute euch schon einmal ankündigen, beziehungsweise für die es noch nicht gelesen haben, freuen wir uns sehr über diese neue Partnerschaft. Genau, hier könnt ihr unseren QR-Code abscannen, da kommt ihr zu unserem Linktree, da findet ihr nochmal all unsere Broschüren, das PEP-Programm, Links zu unseren Events, Links zu den nächsten Webinaren, alles, was ihr zu St. Lucia braucht, natürlich auch nochmal unsere Kontaktdaten, das bekommt ihr aber auch alles nochmal im Nachgang per E-Mail. Und genau, das war so ein bisschen der kleine Einstieg von uns. Und jetzt gehen wir über zu unseren Speakern, die euch noch viel mehr zum Thema Abenteuer und Natur auf St. Lucia erzählen. And we're going to start with Sanju from Cox Company.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Laura. You're going to have to get me up to date on the language so I can speak it as fluently as you do.
Don't worry, we'll get you there.
A little bit at a time, and I'm sure I'll get there. I'm a fast learner.
Okay, perfect. We can go ahead and share your presentation, and I will let you know if everything is running. And then the stage is all yours.
Okay. Share.
Perfect, looks great.
Perfect. Thank you again. Good day, everyone, and thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. My name is Sanyu, and I represent Cox Company, a St. Lucian-based destination management company. Over the next few minutes, I would love to introduce you to St. Lucia, and I will also share the types of experiences that resonate particularly well with travelers from the DACH market and show how Cox Company can support you in creating memorable programs for your clients. While St. Lucia is often recognized for its beautiful beaches and luxury resorts, what truly sets the destination apart is the remarkable diversity that can be experienced within a relatively small island. So let's take a look and see why St. Lucia offers much more than a traditional Caribbean holiday. Let's begin with the destination itself. St. Lucia is one of the Caribbean's most diverse islands despite its compact size. Within 238 square miles, visitors can experience volcanic landscapes, lush rainforests, cascading waterfalls, pristine beaches, and the iconic pitons, which are a UNESCO World Heritage Site. For travelers from Germany, Austria, and Switzerland, this diversity is particularly attractive because it allows them to combine adventure, nature, relaxation, and culture within a single itinerary. The island is especially well suited to clients seeking authentic experiences and meaningful connections with nature rather than large scale mass tourism. So, who are the people helping visitors experience all of this once they arrive on island? Introducing Cox Company Ltd. Cox Company is a St. Lucian owned and managed company with a long history on the island, celebrating 100 years of operation in 2026. Within the Cox Group, our Destination Experiences division serves as a local destination management company specializing in nature and adventure-focused programs. We design tailor-made itineraries, coordinate transportation and logistics, and deliver guided experiences across the island. For our partners, our value lies in our strong relationships and extensive network of local suppliers, responsive communication, operational reliability, and the ability to provide German-speaking guides when required. We believe at Cox that before we start building programs, it is important to understand the traveler. When developing programs for the DACH market, we focus on the interests and travel styles we see most frequently among German-speaking travelers. They are typically interested in nature, scenic landscapes, active exploration, and authentic local encounters. They often prefer well-organized itineraries with a balance between activity and relaxation. And St. Lucia is particularly suitable for couples, small groups, special interest travelers, and clients looking for experiences beyond the traditional beach holiday. To simplify program development, we generally organize our experiences into 4 main themes: adventure, nature and wellness, marine, and culture. Let's start with one of the strongest pillars of our destination, adventure. For active travelers, St. Lucia offers a wide variety of adventure experiences. The Go-Pito hike is one of the most requested activities and provides spectacular views from the summit. For guests seeking a lighter hiking experience, the Ted Paul Nature Trail offers panoramic scenery with a more accessible level of difficulty. Additional options will include ziplining through the rainforest canopy, off-road jeep adventures, waterfall hikes, and mountain biking through tropical landscapes. These activities appeal particularly well to travelers who want to be immersed in the island's natural environment. Beyond adventure, St. Lucia also offers opportunities to slow down and reconnect with nature. Nature and wellness experiences are among St. Lucia's strongest selling points. Guests can enjoy guided rainforest walks, visit the botanical gardens, observe local bird life, and learn more about native plant species. A highlight for many visitors is the Sulphur Springs area, often referred to as the Caribbean's only drive-in volcano, where guests can experience mineral-rich mud baths and geothermal activity. These experiences combine relaxation, wellness, and nature in a way that resonates very strongly with many DACH travelers. Of course, no Caribbean experience is complete without the sea. Being caressed by the Caribbean Sea naturally creates excellent opportunities for marine-based experiences. Popular options include snorkeling in marine reserves, catamaran cruises, dolphin and whale watching excursions, and sport fishing. Many visitors choose coastal cruises that showcase the island's dramatic scenery from the water, particularly around the Pitons. And marine activities can easily be combined with land-based experiences to create balanced multi-day programs. But a destination is more than just its landscapes. It is also its people. Culture is often what transforms a holiday into a memorable travel experience. And St. Lucia offers opportunities to explore historic estates, to visit local communities, sample authentic cuisine, and learn about the island's unique blend of African, French, and British influences. Visitors can participate in rum and chocolate tastings, visit our local markets, and engage with fishing and farming communities. These experiences provide authentic insights into local life and help our visitors connect more deeply with our destination. So, how do we bring all of this together for your clients? At Cox Company, our role is to make St. Lucia easy to sell and easy to operate. Every partner and every client profile is different, which is why we focus on building customized programs rather than offering a one-size-fits-all approach. Whether your clients are seeking adventure, wellness, culture, marine experiences, or a combination of all four, we can design itineraries that align with their interests and travel styles. We would be delighted to explore opportunities with you and discuss how St. Lucia can fit within your Caribbean portfolio. Thank you so much for your time today, and we look forward to working with you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sanju, for giving us so much insights on all the nature and adventure activities on island. And we know that our guests and partners here in Germany are always looking for DMCs. We get that question all the time. So it's very good that you can finally connect with our travel agents here in the German-speaking markets. And I'm sure they will be happy to reach out afterwards to draft the programs for their clients. We had one question in the chat. Someone asked, Britta asked, what's the best time to see dolphins throughout the year?
Well, dolphin sightings are not guaranteed. However, it will be year-round. There are certain times of year when, of course, you will see more dolphins than other times, but it is something that you can experience throughout the year in the destination. We may just have to take you a little further out on some days than others, but definitely it's a year-round endeavor here.
Okay, perfect. So if there's any other questions, feel free to use the chat. Otherwise, we will have our Q&A session in the end as well. And we will, of course, share with you their contact information so you can reach out to them afterwards, and also share their presentation, of course, so you have an overview of everything that Cox & Company is offering. Perfect. Thank you so much for being here with us today and sharing your presentation. And now we will move forward with Adam. Adam is going to present a very interesting hotel partner of the island, very tied to the nature and adventure theme as well. So Adam, please feel free to share your presentation as well. Perfect.
Oh, sorry, spoiler alert.
Hello, everyone. Great, yeah. Perfect.
All good. Thank you very much, Laura. So my name's Adam Vanson, and I work for Hotel Chocolat. You might be wondering why I'm introducing myself as a Hotel Chocolat employee when I'm here to talk to you about Rabo Hotel. But for anyone who doesn't know the connection, Hotel Chocolat own Rabo Hotel out in St. Lucia. For anyone who doesn't know the chocolate brand, probably fair enough from a German point of view, because we have 160 stores in the UK, 6 in Chicago in the US, none in Germany yet, but who knows what could be in the future. But I'll explain a little bit more about the connection between that as well, and why the hotel is owned by Hotel Chocolat. But yeah, I'm here to talk to you about Rabo Hotel. So Rabo Hotel is located in the southwest of St. Lucia. So I think when a lot of people think of St. Lucia, they think of ocean and beaches. A lot of those are in the north. And obviously, being here today to talk to you about adventure and nature, I think it's very apt that we are located in the southwest. I went out last May and I hired a car, and the local guy who's working at the car company who dropped it off to me handed me the keys, and he said, "Oh, you're so lucky to be in Soufrière, which is where we are in this bottom corner in the southwest." And he described it as a local's point of view as the beating heart of St. Lucia. So I like to think that down in the southwest, where you have the rainforests, that's really where you can get involved in the kind of more adventurous side of St. Lucia, and be immersed in nature. From an airport point of view, we are quite conveniently located. So Heronora, the international airport, is in the bottom right, and it's just a 45-minute drive around the coast to the bottom left to us. So not too far for your clients to transfer from the airport. Most transfer companies deliver a piton beer whilst being picked up at the airport, which is a nice touch. And by the time they finished that and had a few looks through the sort of mountainous roads, then you're pretty much with us. And then, yeah, as mentioned earlier in the webinar, if your clients are traveling from sort of into Caribbean, other islands, they'll come into Castries in the north to George FL Charles Airport, and then we're about an hour and 25 to come down from there. And we work really well as a combination of anything in the north with the south, and as your kind of south hotel. And I think I sort of alluded to how we're owned by Hotel Chocolat and immersed in nature, and those two things for us are very true, in that we actually originally bought the working organic cacao farm. So the hotel is literally situated on a farm that produces cacao, and has an estate, 140 acres of producing cacao through our cacao trees in the rainforest. This year we're 20 years old, having bought the farm in 2006. The farm itself actually dates back way past that, into the 1700s, with and originally French owned, but we've had it since 2006. So 2026, 20 years of producing cacao and working with the locals to produce cacao. And then we built the hotel from scratch in 2011, and that is where your clients will come in Rabo Hotel. Later in the presentation, I will just touch on Project Chocolat, which is our immersive chocolate making experience. It'd be silly to have a cacao farm and to produce all that cacao and chocolate and not have a tour that actually teaches people how that's done and the history of chocolate. So we've gone ahead and opened that in 2021. That's been going for 5 years now, and is actually really, really popular as a tour. You don't have to stay at the hotel to book a tour with Project Chocolat. You can book if your clients are staying in other hotels, they can book onto Project Chocolat. Similar to our restaurant, which I'll touch on a bit later as well, you can book into our restaurant, and you don't have to be a Rabo Hotel guest to do so. So a little about the hotel itself, and then you'll kind of see why it's immersed in nature, having been in a UNESCO World Heritage Site and literally in the rainforest. We are boutique, we're very small. So if your clients like a hotel that is quite small and design led in that aspect, and isn't a sort of large chain hotel, then we are the right hotel for you. So we are 25 private luxury lodges immersed in the rainforest, as you can see. We are actually the other way around in terms of our rooms. We have less entry-level rooms than we do bigger rooms. We only have 2 room categories. So our lodges, which are situated around the courtyard, we have 6 of those. And then we have 19 of our luxe lodges, which are our stilted open-air lodges that face the Piti Piton, the magical mountain that we talked about a little bit earlier. So I'll just touch on the rooms a little bit, just so you can see what your clients are sort of getting into. The lodges themselves, the entry level rooms are 450 square foot with a king size bed and shutters that open up completely. So lots of space, and a nice lodge style, with an indoor lounging area at the front. And we're particularly proud of our open air rainforest showers that use solar power to heat the water, and we harvest our rainwater from the rainforest. So sort of being respectful of the location we're at in the rainforest. And that's in the lodges and in the Lux lodges. You can see the shower there on the right. And then our Lux lodges, 19 of these. So we actually have more of these than our lodges. As you can see, stilted, facing the Piti Piton. You get 750 square feet with these, so a bit bigger, and it's got a bit more of that kind of front porch area where you can sunbathe. And this is the view from them. So these shutters that you can see on that right image can close if your clients would like to close them, at night or whatever. But we also encourage people to immerse themselves into the rainforest and the nature and keep them open as much as possible. And whilst it isn't technically, a three-walled building, it is as close to it in terms of that open air veranda and sitting there. And obviously the added factor of facing directly the Petit Piton. So we have unrivaled views of that mountain. Of the two mountains that Saint Lucia is really well known for, Gros and Piti, we are close to Petit Piton. And then rainforest shower as standard in and sort of this back bathroom area in the Lux lodges as well. So for Hotel Chocolat, it wouldn't be a Hotel Chocolat owned hotel if we didn't have sort of our hot chocolate machines velvetizers in the room. If anyone has any more questions about Hotel Chocolat products, I'm happy to answer them as well. Bottles of Prosecco in the room because we have our own Prosecco chain, and sort of chocolate in confectionery snacks are topped up every day, which is nice, but you don't have to, it's not dominated by chocolate. Which is a good segue into the restaurant. So we have one restaurant, Rabo Restaurant and Cacao Bar. I like to joke that, we're not going to serve your steak, and steak is on the menu, with a slab of chocolate on the top. Cacao is used in a lot of its forms and a lot of points of the journey of growing the cacao tree, such as oils, to be infused into our cacao cuisine. For example, the Eggs Benedict uses cacao oil in the vinegar, and you would, to the untrained taste buds, you would never know that there's aspects of a cacao tree being used in your Eggs Benedict, but it is us using as much of that farm produce as possible. And it is also a lot of local produce from our farm or local produce from Southwest St. Lucia. So we try to make sure that we source from very close to the hotel as much as possible, which is most of what we do. And then you can see a couple of shots there. It's a la carte meals. We are an adults only hotel. So when your clients are booking, it is important to know that we are great for immersing yourself in nature and being very quiet and mindfulness because we are adults only. But if you do have clients that are staying at other hotels, Rabo Restaurant is bookable for families and not adults only specifically, as I mentioned, Project Chocolat. So let us know if you want to book the restaurant as much as you want to book the hotel for your clients as well. And then I think just to finish up a little bit on the facilities, as I mentioned, staring straight at Petit Piton is our 50-foot infinity pool, complete with an honesty bar. So I think I'll move a little bit into more sort of the nature and adventure tours that we have, but a good example of this is I'm going to visit again in September. So I operate from the UK, which is why I go out to visit St. Lucia as much as I can. And I'm going to hike. Oh, is my presentation still showing? It's kind of just switched.
Yeah, for me, it's still there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just moved it to a really small screen for some reason.
Ooh. No, we see it perfectly fine.
Okay, I can't make it bigger, but that's fine. I will work with that. I'm actually going in September, and I'm going to hike Petit Piton, not Gros Piton. Gros Piton's the easier hike, and I'm a little bit scared about it, but doing Petit Piton, the harder one. And a really good example of that is something that is adventurous as a hike in Petit Piton. And I encourage anyone to go away and look at how tough the hike is. It's I'm quite worried for myself. And then I'm going to come back to the pool and enjoy a few beers. And I think that's a nice example of how we are immersed in nature, and nature is everything we do, but there are adventure aspects for anyone at any moment who wants to book what they need. And then, last thing to touch on as well is that we have our spa. So those looking for the mindfulness and relaxation that comes with being immersed in nature, our cacao trees also produce oils that we use in our treatments for the spa. and your guests can book into any treatments when staying at the hotel. And then I think, yeah, getting into really the heart of where we are on a farm is that we have lots of walking trails actually within the farm. We also operate rainforest picnics in a sort of dried up lake on the farm because we have 140 acres. So there's a lot of nature trails that can be accessed literally within the farm sort of boundaries, which is great, and lots of tours and activities that can be done. Also, any of your guests are welcome to actually just walk down to the cacao nursery and chat to the workers, the farmers. You can see that where they're fermenting, solar drying the beans. You can see where they're collecting them, different parts of the journey of the cacao tree moving into chocolate, and that is accessible as part of your stay in Rabo Hotel on the cacao farm. We also recently have been running yoga. So we have 2 points that we can do that, which is near the pool opposite looking over the Piti Piton, or where the dried up lake is, which is like now sort of a big expanse field in the farm. So indoor and outdoor yoga is available. And we do your classic, sort of mentioned earlier, the sort of well-known aspects of St. Lucia, which is we do our rum and chocolate pairings. So St. Lucian rums paired with our Hotel Chocolat chocolates. And then I think the best way to describe it is that's all the kind of stuff that we can do because we're situated on the farm in a rainforest and immersed in nature. But I think we can also offer you your standard kind of tours that most people would expect to get out and about and adventurous in St. Lucia. So we have a sunset cruise tour that facing the pitons out to get out on the ocean, as mentioned earlier. Can't come to the Caribbean without getting onto the ocean. And even though we are in the rainforest, we have those tours to be able to get you out and down to the beach and onto the ocean. The middle one is the sulfur pits, I think they were mentioned earlier. So mud baths, geothermically heated to 37 degrees. I've done them myself. They're so much fun. And our chocolate making tour is actually right next to those sulfur pits. So you can do 2 for 1 there, really. It's just down the road from learning about chocolate, making your chocolate bar, and then next minute you're in a mud bath. Why not? And as mentioned earlier, waterfalls and hiking and nature trails, any of those. If you want to hike Grosse Piton as well, we can book any of those from Rabo Hotel. We do have a very natural, rugged beach that is accessible with 10 minutes transfer from our hotel, and we operate as a sister hotel with the hotel on the beach there, Paradise. So anything you want to order, drinks, food, sunbeds can be done and you can visit the beach. I would be really honest at this point to tell you that it is a natural, rugged, volcanic beach. I think it's beautiful, but it's not your white, sandy sort of Barbadian sand that you expect from the Caribbean. So I think just managing expectations there. But within 15 minutes, your clients could be swimming in the ocean, which is a massive aspect of the Caribbean, definitely. We do cater to romantic occasions, but I won't dwell on that because we're here for adventure and nature, but just so everyone knows. And then I will finish on Project Chocolat, which I think is like the kind of heart of what we do at Rabo Hotel. So when your guests and your clients want to book into Rabo Hotel, please do contact us for that. And they will have included in their stay a walking tour of the cacao groves, where they'll go out and learn where the cacao pods that you see on the left there are grown. And they'll learn a little bit more about the journey from the pod through to kind of the beans and how you get the beans out. They'll also get a chance to kind of taste the beans. It's actually a really sweet kind of lychee style taste, which is interesting. And then if they want to, and if you would like to book on for your clients, you can then extend that tour, which is a bit of a charge just to extend it onto the full tour, but very economical on price, to then go into Project Chocolat, and it's called our Tree to Bar tour. And then they will actually make their own Hotel Chocolat chocolate bar to take home with them, as you can see from picture number 2. And they will learn about the history of chocolate sort of as they're doing that from our sort of experienced tour guides. There's also a retail area, and the full tour Tree to Bar will finish with a market style lunch that also serves cacao cuisine. So they sort of quite good value for money and 4 hours of your time. If you book them from the 9 o'clock, your clients will be occupied through till 1 p.m. And it's a really nice day out. And as I mentioned earlier, you compare that with then going to see the sulfur pits or the other way around, and then you have a very adventurous day out. We can operate Project Chocolat because it's 6 of our 140 acres. So it was built in 2021 and it is its standalone own touring center. And if you go to the tree to bar tour, the slightly extended tour, you also graft a baby cacao tree and get to name your baby cacao tree. I've flicked through the book of names that we record on every single one of them. There's some hilarious ones, some very standard ones, some very cute ones. And that is another cool part of that tour is literally handling and seeing how our trees are planted. Kind of been through all this in terms of going out and making your chocolate bar and the market style lunch. We also have a charity called Helen's Daughters on site. So Helen being the island of Helen for St. Lucia. And they operate their own kind of farming area and they support women in agriculture. So that's adjacent to Project Chocolat. You can also, if you know about the Hotel Chocolat products, you can also purchase them. If you don't, you can also purchase them. And we do run some events whilst you're there, probably not an attraction draw for your clients, but sometimes there are big style events at Project Chocolat to celebrate the local heritage of Creole. There's music, Country Gold is their country music artists. And we actually are up for another Gymneys this year in terms of Sustainable Tourism Awards. We're also up for a World Travel Award as St. Lucia's leading hotel. And we are also on the Condé Nast Reader's Choice Awards list, and we're hoping to get as many votes for them as possible. So it's really nice that we're being recognized for a well-operated rainforest hotel that in the southwest of St. Lucia. Feel free to contact me. I think we've given a copy of this deck to Laura and the team, and then also our fact sheet, so you can see all the sort of quick facts to help with the sales for your clients. But please do jump onto our website where there's lots of information and really inspirational information and imagery and videos. That's the best way to get your clients excited about who we are and where we are, as well as our socials. And then follow us on socials, which will be our copy of the details will be on the copy of this deck. Yeah, and I think that's it from me.
Thank you so much, Adam. Someone mentioned in the chat what I just wanted to say. She's like, you will find me at the chocolate bar. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so hungry for chocolate.
The cacao bar, yes. Yeah. I recommend, if you do find yourself there, the midnight tiramisu martini. Very good.
That sounds fabulous.
Yeah, there are non-chocolate drinks, just FYI.
Thank you so much for taking us to Hotel Chocolat and
no problem.
Telling us everything about the property and your offerings. If there's any questions right now, feel free to ask them in the chat. And if not, we will move over to our next speaker, which is Annika from Sea Spray Cruises. Thank you so much, Adam.
No worries, thank you.
All right, perfect. I already see your presentation. Perfect, that is the first slide. Looks good. So please go ahead.
Good morning. Thank you for having us here today. We're very excited about presenting Sea Spray Cruises and Airport Ferry Express to you today. For more than 30 years, we have been creating unforgettable experiences on the waters of St. Lucia, offering everything from full-day sailing adventures, sunset cruises, to private charters and airport ferry transfers. Today, we would like to introduce you to our company, share a little about what we would like to share such a remarkable destination, and showcase some of the experiences that continue to interest visitors from around the world. When people think of St. Lucia, they often picture the iconic pizzas. However, the island offers so much more. St. Lucia is one of the Caribbean's most diverse destinations, combining natural beauty, adventure, and authentic local experiences. Visitors can hike, explore waterfalls, soak in volcanic mud baths, snorkel, and sail along the most amazing coastline in the region. What makes the destination especially appealing is that so many of our experiences can be enjoyed in a single vacation. making St. Lucia an excellent choice for travelers seeking both relaxation and adventure. At Sea Spray, we offer a range of shared experiences designed to help guests experience the very best of St. Lucia from the sea. Our excursions combine sightseeing, adventure, relaxation, allowing visitors to experience the island's most famous attractions while enjoying the comfort of our spacious catamarans and the hospitality of our experienced crew. For travelers looking for something more exclusive, we also offer fully customizable private charters. Whether it's a wedding celebration, corporate event, incentive group, or special occasion, we can tailor each experience to meet the unique needs of our guests. Our signature excursion is the Tutbagai Day Sail, and it remains one of the most popular tours available in St. Lucia. The name Tutbagai means everything in St. Lucian Creole, and this is exactly what this tour delivers. Guests enjoy a scenic catamaran along the island's west coast before arriving Soufrière, home to the most of St. Lucia's famous attractions. During the tour, guests visit the Sulphur Springs, the world's only dragon. Enjoy refreshing waterfall experience, incredible views of the Petors. The experience also includes the Creole buffet lunch, snorkeling in crystal clear waters, and unlimited drinks. One of the reasons that the Tutbagai continues to be a guest favorite is that it appeals to such a wide variety of travelers. Rather than choosing between a land tour or a sailing excursion, guests enjoy both experiences in a single day. It's often the excursion that guests remember the most when return home because it truly captures the essence of being on island. Another guest favorite is the Champagne Sunset Cruise. The experience offers guests the opportunity to unwind after a day of exploring. As we sail along the coastline, guests enjoy gorgeous views of the sunset, an open bar, light hors d'oeuvres, accompanied by music and great company. The Sunset Cruise is particularly popular with couples and honeymooners, but it's equally enjoyed by groups of friends, families, and partners looking to enjoy a memorable evening on the water. In addition to our scheduled excursions, we also specialize in private charters and custom events. Our catamarans provide a unique venue for weddings, corporate functions, incentive groups, family reunions, and special celebrations. Each charter can be customized to suit the group's preferences from itinerary planning, catering, entertainment, and onboard experiences. Whether guests are seeking a relaxing day at sea or a fully customized celebration, our team works closely with clients to create unforgettable moments.
Hi, everybody. My name is Lyle, and I'll be presenting on the Airport Express ferry. And as we can see in the photo, we're looking at the vessel that we use. It's called the Flying Ray, and it's a 50-foot powered catamaran, and it traverses the west coast of St. Lucia to get us between the south and the north of the island. The Flying Ray offers visitors to St. Lucia a unique and scenic alternative to the traditional road transfers from Ihrer International Airport to resorts in the north of the island. The approximately 90-minute ferry journey allows guests to begin their vacation the moment they step aboard while enjoying the breathtaking beauty of St. Lucia's west coast. Along the route, passengers can admire the island's famous petors, dramatic coastal rock formations, and stunning views of the neighboring islands of Martinique and St. Vincent. The trip also provides opportunities to spot dolphins and whales in their natural habitat, adding excitement to the experience. And of course, to ensure comfort throughout the journey, drinks and snacks are available on board. for our clients. By avoiding the lengthy road transfer, the flying ray combines convenience, comfort, and sightseeing, making it an unforgettable introduction to the natural beauty and charm of St. Lucia. So, of course, if you're familiar with St. Lucia, you would realize that majority of the hotels are in the north of the island, and the international airport actually is in the south. So what you find if you've been in hospitality for a pretty long time in St. Lucia, majority of the complaints you'd get from guests is that after a 5 or 8 hour flight, they would still have to do a 3-hour ground transfer in St. Lucia. If you can take a look at the map on the screen, you'd see that it's saying the ground transfer is 1 hour and 43 minutes. However, that does not factor in traffic or buses or lorries on the road, obstructions, and of course, it would probably take someone at least 2.5 hours or 3 hours to get to the north of the island via ground transfer. And that's where the Airport Express ferry comes in. We offer our guests that alternative so they don't spend that much time to get to their resort. And of course, the ferry includes everything. So the moment you arrive in the north of the island, we're going to have a vehicle ready that's going to take you directly to the resort that you're going to. So of course, the Airport Express is going to assist with alleviating the traffic on the road, because instead of taking those buses to the hotels, you'd find that guests are now doing the transfer. And of course, that helps out because there's less traffic in the capital of the island, and of course, less carbon emissions. So in its own way, this is how Seaspray Cruises, of course, assist in preserving St. Lucia's beauty. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Annika and team, for being here. And I think that's a very interesting option for the guests of our participants and the travel agents to get to their hotel. Just take the ferry and explore the island from the water, from the first moment you're arriving on the island. So thank you so much. If there's any questions to the two of them, please feel free to use the chat. And I see that the chat is very busy right now. People have a lot of questions about diving, about the rental cars. So yeah, we will also provide all die Information in the end. Also jetzt werde ich auch wieder auf Deutsch übergehen. Genau, auch nochmal zum Thema Tauchen. Das werden wir euch auch noch im Nachgang gerne einmal per E-Mail zur Verfügung stellen. Vielleicht für euch zur Info, die ganzen Tauchspots befinden sich an der Westküste von St. Lucia, wo wir auch das Karibische Meer haben. Auf der Ostseite haben wir den Atlantik. Da ist es dann vom Wasser her auch ein bisschen schroffer. Und genau deswegen siedeln sich die Tauchspots, die wir haben, alle von Süd nach Nord einmal an der Ostküste entlang. Genau. Wenn es noch weitere Fragen gibt, gerne einfach den Chat weiter nutzen. Ich sehe, dass Karen und Lukas da auch ganz aktiv sind, während ich euch jetzt noch ein paar Worte über die Community Tourism Agency ganz am Ende mitgeben werde. Leider ist ja die Brittany heute kurzfristig erkrankt. Ihre Präsentation werden wir euch natürlich im Nachgang auch zur Verfügung stellen. Jetzt habe ich auch das Problem, dass die Präsentation mittendrin öffnet. So, jetzt bin ich auf der ersten Seite. Da könnt ihr alles nochmal im Detail nachlesen. Dann natürlich auch die Kontaktdaten der Reps der Community Tourism Agency. Das ist ein ganz spannendes neues Produkt. Die Community Tourism Agency gibt es seit 2023. Und das Konzept dahinter ist eigentlich, dass sie junge Unternehmerinnen oder Unternehmerinnen und Nehmer allgemein auf St. Lucia dabei unterstützen, ihre Produkte entweder auf den Markt zu bringen, überhaupt im operativen Geschäft zu unterstützen, natürlich auch finanziell zu unterstützen, Unterstützung in Marketingfragen. Also das ist eben ganz vielfältig. Da gibt es Leute, die kommen mit ihrer ersten Idee, die sagen, ich würde grundsätzlich gerne irgendwie was Touristisches auf der Insel anbieten, aber weiß noch gar nicht was. Dann überlegt man sich grundsätzlich erstmal eine Idee. Dann gibt es Leute, die kommen schon mit einem sehr spezifischen Konzept auf die Community Tourism Agency zu. Ja, mittlerweile gibt es ganz, ganz viele Projekte auf der Insel, die von der Community Tourism Agency ins Leben gerufen wurden, unterstützt werden, ja, von der Community für die Community. Das sind dann alles Ausflüge, die ihr beispielsweise machen könnt oder Unterkünfte, die ihr buchen könnt, Touren, alles, was sich um Abenteuer und Kulinarik und das Leben vor Ort trifft. Das sind meistens dann immer auch Aktivitäten in kleineren Gruppen, eben von Locals geguidet und geben eben ganz viel in die Community zurück. Das sind vor allem halt auch touristische Angebote an Orten auf der Insel, die gar nicht so touristisch sind, vor allem zum Beispiel an der Ostküste. Das habe ich ja eben schon gesagt, da haben wir die Atlantikküste und die ganzen Großteil der Hotels siedeln sich an der Westküste an. Da gibt es jetzt auch ganz viele neue Touren, dass man auch die Ostküste erkunden kann, ganz viele kleine Fischergemeinden und so kommt man eben ganz schön in Austausch und Kontakt auch mit den Locals, die ihre eigenen Communities zeigen, die zeigen, wie auf St. Lucia seit so vielen Jahrzehnten beispielsweise Brot gebacken wird. Also ja, es ist ein ganz, ganz vielfältiges Angebot, um einfach die Locals vor Ort zu unterstützen, auch in dem Tourismussektor aktiv zu sein und ihre Produkte da etablieren zu können. Genau, ich werde euch im Nachgang einmal die Präsentation zur Verfügung stellen. Es ist ein ganz, ganz vielfältiges Angebot. Wir fokussieren uns heute ein bisschen auf die Naturgeschichten und Abenteuergeschichten. Da haben wir zum Beispiel eine ATV-Tour, die durch die Communities der Ostküste führt, eine E-Bike-Tour durch die Fischergemeinde Anse-la-Raye und ein Kajakunternehmen. Und genau, die Brittany hat uns ein paar Videos zur Verfügung gestellt, die würde ich euch gleich zeigen. Da kriegt ihr, glaube ich, einen ganz guten Eindruck von den Gründerinnen und Gründern der Unternehmen und von den Aktivitäten, was ganz spannend für euch ist. Die Community Tourism Agency plant, eine Plattform zu launchen, wo ihr die Angebote direkt buchen könnt. Da könnt ihr dann auch ganze Itineraries erstellen mit Unterkunft, mit den Aktivitäten, mit den Restaurants. Das findet ihr bald alles auf einer Seite kombiniert, ganz leicht für euch zu buchen. Sobald diese Website online ist, erfahrt ihr das natürlich in unserem Newsletter und per Mail und vielleicht auch sogar im nächsten Webinar. Und genau, die Kontaktdaten von der Brittany bekommt ihr auf jeden Fall auch von uns. Und jetzt würde ich euch einmal noch das Video zeigen. Da kriegt ihr so ein bisschen Eindrücke von 3 Angeboten, die durch die Community Tourism Agency ins Leben gerufen wurden. Und genau, das zeige ich euch.
Get ready to be swept away by the captivating culture of the Mapua Valley with Eastern Exotic ATV Tours. Dive into the centuries-old traditions of farine and cassava making. Feel the pulse of St. Lucia's history through the infectious rhythms of traditional folk music. Revisit the legacy of St. Lucia's green gold era as we ride through banana plantations and uncover the deep-rooted contributions of local farmers to the island's agricultural history. This isn't just a tour, it's an unforgettable cultural and ecological immersion that will leave you transformed. It's a celebration of life, sound, and flavor. Eastern Exotic ATV Tours, where freedom and adventure collide.
There's a natural mystic flowing through the air. If you listen carefully now, you will.
I worked in Suffolk previously, and driving down the west coast, I would say to myself, but I have as much majesty in my backyard as Suffolk. So I decided, hey, I might as well use my backyard. It's free. People can enjoy the bay because the bay is really marvelous. So then I ventured into kayaking.
After looking after the banana industry took a plunge, I decided to do something different in the community, into adventures and have a different approach to tourism and fun activities.
Everyone is in awe of the bay. Everyone is very much surprised that this exists in Prane. Then there's the Seamoss farmers who are there every day farming out there, so it's nice when people get there to get to interact with the farmers. When you get to the island, there's the Saint Lucia whip-tailed lizards on the island. They're the color of the Saint Lucia flag, blue, yellow, black. They're very pretty. So we advise people to be very gentle and please do not endanger those lizards.
The community is supported and there's a lot of benefit for them. Along the route, I now have people selling fresh coconuts. I have a new hut just opened up in Maho where the guys are doing ital bakes and stuff like that on my journey so far to the guests.
Genau, das war so ein kleiner Eindruck, was die Community Tourism Agency alles macht und welche Unternehmerinnen und Unternehmer sie auf der Insel unterstützt. Und das bringt uns zum Ende unseres Webinars heute. Es hat uns sehr gefreut, dass ihr so zahlreich gekommen seid, trotz des schönen Wetters. Wir entlassen euch gleich in die Sonne. Falls ihr noch Fragen habt, könnt ihr gerne den Chat nutzen. Unsere Speaker sind auch alle noch da. Gerne noch eure Fragen stellen, sonst einfach im Nachgang per E-Mail. Wir lassen euch dann auch, wie gesagt, die Präsentation, alle Kontaktdaten und die Aufnahme des Webinars zukommen, dass ihr euch das im Nachgang alles nochmal in Ruhe anschauen könnt. Und genau, wir warten einfach noch ganz kurz, falls es noch Fragen gibt. Und ja, danke für euer positives Feedback. Es freut uns, dass es euch gefallen hat. Unser nächstes Webinar findet am 29. September statt zum Thema Romance. Da erfahrt ihr dann auch in unserem nächsten Newsletter von und bekommt dann auch den Anmeldelink. Den lassen wir euch aber auch gerne in unserer Follow-up-E-Mail einmal zukommen, dass ihr euch direkt für die nächste Session anmelden könnt. Da freuen wir uns schon drauf, euch alle nach der Sommerpause wiederzusehen. Und genau, wenn ihr noch Fragen habt, könnt ihr gerne noch im Chat drin bleiben und sonst wünschen wir euch einen schönen Abend und freuen uns, euch bald wiederzusehen. Dankeschön.
Dankeschön.
Danke für euer Feedback. Das freut uns.
Thank you all for everybody who participated as a speaker.
Okay, I think there are no more questions. So I'm going to end the session now. Thank you, everyone. See you soon. Bye-bye. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hey, why am I missing the leaf? Am I pressing the right button?